Now, it was a bit before my time, but it's a TV series that's so iconic. We're probably all familiar with it. The cars, the comedy, the characters. I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about as soon as I say Steed and Mrs. Peel. Now, it's the Avengers, of course. And this weekend at Chichester University, they're celebrating its 50th anniversary. Well, Sarah Farmer is over there tonight. And Sarah, you're surrounded by some of those famous costumes.
Yes, the iconic Avengers catsuit. Not quite my style, Steed. Thank you very much. It was a bit before my time as well, Jo, so I have to admit I've had a crash course in all things Peel and Steed. I started my journey deep in the Hampshire countryside at one of the locations used in several of the episodes. Iconic cars for an iconic series. Here at Palace House in Bewley back in 1966, the Avengers production team filmed several of the end scenes of the Diana Rigg episodes.
Wouldn't it be safer by horse?
And as you can see, times have changed. The original flower bed has now been replaced with this ornamental well.
This is a photograph we've got from our archives of one of the cars used at the time. Lord Montague loved celebrity, still does, and was always delighted if anybody wanted to come and film at Bewley. And also, particularly if they wanted to use any of his cars from his collection that he was busy amassing at the time.
It creates a wonderful fantasy England which never existed. In many respects, it's a Lewis Carroll Alice in Wonderland version of England, but through a spy series genre.
And for those that like trivia, there were 161 episodes of The Avengers and 26 episodes of The New Avengers. In Germany, the series was known as With Umbrella, Charm and Bowler, while in France it was called Bowler Hat and Leather Boots. They invented the text message long before mobile phones existed.
I wish you'd get used to using the telephone.
Ran out of small change.
It's really sort of seared itself into the sort of British national psyche. It's as iconic as Sherlock Holmes or such things as that.
Well, it is a classic and quirky spy-fi, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by one of the stars, Honor Blackman. Honor, thank you for joining us. You played Cathy Gale. What a great role.
Oh, it was terrific. It was a groundbreaking show anyway then, because, you know, that was the very beginning. And it was very tough going in those days, you know, because all the fights and everything happened one scene after the other, running from set to set. So it was really quite some pressure. It's amazing when you look back how we did it.
And such an iconic series, 50 years on, and it's still unmistakable. Do you think it's going to stand the test of time for another 50 years?
Who knows? I shan't be here to discover, shall I? Maybe my grandchildren will see it in 50 years.
How does it feel to be part of these celebrations?
Well, I think it's great. It's marvellous that it's now a sort of classic.
Absolutely. Honor, short but sweet, thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay.
That's it from Chichester for now. That's all we have time for, but I'll be back later with the full forecast.
Sarah, thanks very much. Honor Blackman, she always looks fabulous, doesn't she? That's brilliant. Yeah, well, now, I'm sure all those sailors are very interested to know exactly what the weather's going to be like, so we could go back to Sarah in Chichester now. Sarah, you've got an umbrella there. They're a very iconic symbol of the Avengers, of course, but are we going to need them this weekend?
It's a very good question. Of course, Steed would never be far away from his very own umbrella. I'll have the forecast in just a moment for you. But first, let's have a look at what's going on in the south if you haven't managed to bag tickets for the event here at Chichester. Celebrating the British Armed Forces and Naval Heritage, the Armed Forces Weekend is at the Portsmouth Historic Dockyard. Field gun displays and the Band of the Royal Marines are just some of the attractions. The Pavilion Lawn in Brighton is the place to be this Sunday. The Brighton Lions are holding their annual Fun Day. See a multitude of scarecrows at the Sandalheath Village Fete tomorrow. hear the Sandalheath Brass Band and watch the dog show too. It all starts at 2 o'clock. And of course, the only other iconic piece from the Avengers, the bowler hat. This one here is one that was signed by Patrick Macnee in 1969, and in fact a similar one fetched $35,000 at auction, so I'll put that somewhere safe. It's sun hats at the ready though for this weekend because it's going to be a warm one. We do have a heat health warning in place through the weekend, significantly on Sunday, but it stays warm as well as we go through into Monday. Tuesday we could see it changing, but I think it's going to be a case of sunny spells throughout. Those umbrellas not likely to be needed here or across the south.
Wonderful news. Thanks ever so much, Sarah, to have the sunshine just in time for the weekend. Well, that's all from us this evening. There's more news at 8 o'clock and at 10:25 as well. But this evening, as a special treat, we're going to leave you with some action from the Avengers convention and that famous theme tune. Good night.